Alphonzo. We had a couple of technical difficulties, but we're back. So
Yes.
I'm blogging Brandi from RVersity, a university for RVers. And I'm here with one of my shining star students, Alphonzo. And I wanted to just have you talk a little bit about what RVersity is and kind of like what you've learned. And I've got some questions we're going to go through. But yeah, tell us who you are and what you do.
Yes, my name is Alphonzo. Right now, I am retired military and working as a 911 dispatcher on base. At one time, I worked in law enforcement, and then also I was a volunteer firefighter. And that's pretty much what I've done in the past. A little security work on the side, working at colleges and things like that. But my job went from law enforcement to a 911 dispatcher.
So you are retired, you have some income coming in, but you're just doing something else to have some more money coming in and work
Correct.
towards your RV dream.
Correct.
Now, there's another little thing that's really special about you that I want people to know, and it's like your little niche thing. So if you know Alphonzo, you know this one little thing about Alphonzo. So what is like your heart and your passion, your soul?
Yes, my greatest pastime is riding my Harley Davidson, and a lot of times I'm out there riding my bike, and I have a lot of friends on Facebook. They think I don't work actually, because every time they see me, I'm always someplace different riding my bike, So, and I've been doing that since probably '96, riding the Harley Davidson. So it's been fun, and it's definitely a passion, and I really enjoy it.
A lot of people that are RVers have motorcycles, so it seems to be a thing. And I know that was one of the things that you mentioned when we've talked in the past is kind of like why you started following me
Right.
was because of the RV that I have. I have the toy hauler. So you're talking about how you were able to put the motorcycle in it and how we kind of cross paths.
Right, right, right. Yeah, like you said, that's what drew me to your channel. When I was out there watching YouTube videos, trying to decide what type of RV I wanted, and I came across your channel with your RV. I mean, it was just beautiful, beautiful. Had everything I wanted, and just to watch you and watch you put your smart car up in there in the tour that you gave of your RV. I wanted one just like it. I know I can't afford one right now like it, and so, you know what, and one of the things I've been thinking about, because right now as I'm looking at the 2021 or 22 RVs, I guess by the time I get an RV, it might be a 21 or 22,000 RV. So,
Well, you want to buy used. So,
yeah.
mine's a 2018 and I bought it in 2019. So
Okay.
the people that had my RV only had it a year.
Right.
And I mean, we talk about this all the time, always buy used, but I kind of had a saying that new RVs are for newbies because they don't know that you don't buy a new RV. But you got to know what you're doing if you're buying a used RV. So, so what was the challenge you were experiencing that made you want to work with me?
Well, the challenge was trying to organize my thoughts. Like say, watching you and watching how you, how you did things. I mean, you're a real person. So it was to see you out there and see where your trailer did get stolen at one time. How you went from the van to the RV. And just following you. I felt like I knew you. And like I said, how you put things in order. As far as trying to RV and things like that there. It just helps me out a lot. Watching your experiences kind of gives me a head start as to where I need to go, or I'm trying to get to where I need to go.
I'm glad you decided to work with me. So my next question is, how did working with me and investing in RVersity positively impact you?
One of the things is staying focused, because working with you, we have our weekly conference calls and things. And the information that you put out in RVersity, it helps me stay focused and on what I need to do and where I'm trying to go. Like I said, there's a lot of things that you talk about that I don't necessarily think about. So it gives me a chance to kind of look at where I'm at and what I'm doing. Like I say, just based on your information that you put out.
Great. And the one thing when you mentioned the calls that I find of value as well is I get to learn from you what is missing or that I haven't provided or that I haven't answered for you in the online portion of everything. So that's interesting that you talk about the calls. Is I'm glad that those provide the extra support that you need, along with our community and everything else that we have. So I want people to know that it's not just that you buy a course and I give you videos and you just watch them and do your own thing. That's not what RVersity is. It's way more in depth. How do you feel about the support and the community? And when people get started RVing, they always think, I'm going to go do this thing. It's completely not normal. It's a whole different life and I'm not going to have any support and I don't know who's going to help me. How do you feel about, I guess, having that now?
Well, and that's one of the things I was getting ready to talk about, as far as the members that are in there, and the fact that when I do things, whether it's good or whether it's a mistake, I'm not the only one that's done that. It's nice to have that support from the other people that are in there saying, hey, I made that mistake, or I've done that too, or this is how I corrected that particular situation. So it's really good to have that, not just that personal feedback from you, but from the other members that are in there also, that, pretty much saying, hey, you're not alone. We're in this together.
Right. So, we are in this together. We're like in this whole little world together. So that's true. So how did working with me in RVersity, what did it do for you and how did it help you?
It helped me to get focused, as not only as far as the clutter, but also as far as my debt. Oops, I'm sorry. But as far as
is that your motorcycle? Was that a motorcycle clock?
Yes, on my phone. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh. See, I said that Alphonso had a motorcycle like fetish craziness, and I just heard a motorcycle phone go off. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What did the program do for you and how did it help you?
Well, what it's doing and what it's continuing to do is helping me get out of debt a lot faster. Give me a chance to look at not just my bills, but paying them off. I had a strategy that I was doing, but it wasn't fast, and every now and then I get away from that. So working with you and like say doing our weekly conference calls and things like that there, and staying focused and being with other members of the group, it kind of helps me. It does help me stay focused and just paying that debt off. I paid off numerous credit cards and other major bills that I've got down. Part of that was from inheritance, and part of that was just from my job. I started my part-time job was working overtime. So I started working overtime in my job just to help me get down and pay down those bills and things and to stay focused. And right. Like I say, working with you helps me to do that. I say my credit score went up tremendously, since I started working with you, and that's only because of you. So yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
So you said, I know we had some technical difficulties earlier, so I want to make sure that we covered everything that we had talked about. But the one thing that you pointed out, how much faster do you think that you're going to be out of debt?
Oh, yes. Because I use this program that tells me exactly when I should get out of debt. And since I started working with you, it came up from 2024 to 2023. So it came up year. About a year. Yeah, as far as, and that's just the beginning, so as I keep going, it's just going to get better, so.
Right. And that's really important that you bring that up, is because, one of the things I feel like people don't understand about RVersity is it's not necessarily something that you invest in when you start RVing. It's not like, okay, here's how to RV. It is the transition process into the RV life and what comes along with it, from the planning and the funding and the preparation and going mobile. I know you had, like, not only did we take you from like paper, which I love paper, but we took you from paper. I remember you holding up your book when we were on our call, and I was like, ooh, Alphonzo, let me show you what to do with that. So we took your paper system and went digital with it. And that's been a little bit of a transition, but it's helped you see the numbers that I mean, I don't want to say like your paper couldn't see it, but it's helped you see those. And we put your stuff into the budget spreadsheet. And I know that when we started talking about your bills, like, you've eliminated bills, you've paid down credit cards, you've paid off credit cards, you've paid off like thousands not just small, this isn't like hundreds of dollars. You've paid off
Yes.
thousands of dollars
Yes.
in debt, and your credit score went up.
Well, it went up at, I guess, at least 30 points. You know, I know at one time it went up 11 points at one time. And like I said earlier, I really didn't know that was me when I seen it go up so high so quick. I'm like, that couldn't be right, you know, but I went back and looked at it again and it was still there, you know.
Oh
So
my gosh, that's
so
what I thought you were kidding when you said that. You went back and looked at it to see if it
yeah,
was you. You're like, that's not
yeah.
mine. Did I log into the wrong account?
So that was really good, you know. And then the fact that, you know, as far as going digital, um, I have no idea how you do that. You really done so much, you know, and just going digital and be able to plug numbers in and seeing what my daily expenses are, you know, as opposed to daily to 6 months to a year, you know, by plugging it into this digital program that you gave us, you know, that's just something that um, um, I wouldn't have gotten anywhere else.
Thank you. I'm glad that, and me and you actually have done a lot of tweaking together on the spreadsheets that I have and the systems that we've been doing, because having our calls and having our community aspect and having the liveness of the university, it really is like going to school. I think about it, I'm like, okay, instead of, you're just not driving to school, you know, you attend it. It's like online school for RVing, but you don't even have to have an RV to be in it yet, you know.
That's
I mean, the
right.
point
That's
is that
right.
you technically, you should invest before you get an RV, but if you're in your RV and things aren't going right, come on over, guys. We have got you. We got you. So I know we talked about credit card debt and some other things. I guess, is there any numbers or anything that you'd like to touch on that, or some results that you achieved, I guess tangible results that you achieved?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess, like I say, just being able to pay those accounts off altogether, you know, has been really great. Just having more income based on paying my bills off, you know.
Right.
So just gives me opportunity to continue to do that.
I'm so proud, because that's what people don't understand, is if you can actually see where you're at and where you're headed, they don't understand that if you take care of this or pay this thing, it can make your income go up in a whole different way that you didn't imagine. You know, it gives you income, like you're saving money and making money, but you didn't know that you were doing it, if that makes sense.
Right. Right.
So,
Yes.
so we just like tweaked. I mean, we honestly took what you were doing, because you had a great credit score. Your credit score wasn't bad, but your credit score has gone up significantly. And
Yeah.
you just came in May, and that was within the first month or two that we started seeing some changes.
Yes.
And then I know you've paid off your debt, you've had the credit cards. We've done so much. I mean, we've done a lot behind the scenes, and that's the one thing I do feel like people miss about the RVersity, or just the whole university aspect of it, is that you're not learning how to RV, you're learning how to prepare for the lifestyle, or if you're in the lifestyle, how to make it work, like how to put everything, the puzzle pieces together, how to make them all fit. It's kind of like, you know how when you do the puzzle and you put the outline of the puzzle together, and
Right.
then you go back in and try to fill in like all the little middle pieces.
Yeah.
That's what I kind of am visualizing in my head, if I explain that the right way. Were there any results you were not expecting that pleasantly surprised you?
I guess, you know, pretty much a little bit of everything, you know, as far as the credit score, you know, just staying focused and paying that debt down. I mean, I want to get in and start talking about your RVing for bosses, you know, as far as all the things that you've given us, you know, through that, you know, but everything has been a surprise. I mean, coming on with you in May, you know, and thinking I already had a system that I was working with, and then coming on with you and seeing that system kind of get into high gear, you know, and speed up the process, you know, as far as my credit score, as well as getting out of debt, you know, and it helps with the extra income that I had coming in, but being able to put all this in some type of order, you know, constructive order and things, you know, has really helped out, you know, even, you know, with the digital sheets that you have, as far as, you know, taking from paper to digital and being able to really look at exactly where I am, you know, and what I've been not only achieving, but, you know, where I'm going. You know, it has really helped out a lot, you know, and just the information that you give us, you know, in order to look at things has just been really awesome.
No, I'm glad. I'm so happy to hear you say that. I kind of talked to you about this a little earlier. We might have talked about this on a different call, but when I started looking at RVersity and I was looking at the different programs that were out there, I created RVersity out of a need of my own, of diving into this chaotic life and then trying to figure this thing out. And I was watching YouTube videos and reading things online and doing as much research as I could, but I didn't know what I was doing. And the reason I'm able to tell you all this stuff is because I literally have fallen on my face, and I don't want to say wasted, but I've been through a lot of what most RVers would go through, from stolen trailers, accidents, lemon. I've had a lemon RV. So the only reason I'm able to give you those things is because I failed at it. I did those mistakes. So that's the one reason I held off on this question. I told you I was going to ask you something, but I wasn't going to tell you what the question was. So here's the question. I got a comment that was very related to this, but I get this comment all the time, and people will say, I have YouTube, or I can just watch YouTube videos, or why would I need to invest with you, or why would I need to invest with anybody if I can just watch all these free YouTube videos that are out here? And so what would you say to someone that says, hey, I've watched all your videos and I still don't know how to do this thing, or, oh, I can just watch videos and figure out how to do this on YouTube?
Right. Well, I'm gonna tell you, I watched a lot of videos also, and when I invested in you, I didn't know I was gonna get everything that came with investing with you. It seems like so much in one place. It really does. You've given us everything.
And you're talking about behind the scenes, not the YouTube videos.
Yeah, not
you're talking about the RVersity videos.
Yeah, RVersity, RVing for bosses. That elite group, for members,
Yeah.
All the stuff that's in there. It's really neat because, I mean, you talk about so much, Brandi. It comes from, talking about the font sizes, as far as making a video, the colors, what impact it has. Everything has an impact on how people look at things. And I just never knew that. I never knew that. And I haven't seen that anywhere in other YouTube videos that I've looked at. The information that you have there is just, I mean, it's phenomenal. As much stuff that you have, I don't know how you come up with it. It's still taking me a while to go through it. It really is to cipher.
It's a university.
Yeah, and the fun part about it is, I'm not at some of the places where some of the things that you show us, but it gives me an idea of where I'm going,
right.
And later on down the road, it gives me a lot to think about. It really does, and what's so neat about it is I don't have to do it today or tomorrow, but as I gradually get to it, I know where it's at.
First off, thank you, Alphonzo. I love hearing those words because it makes me feel like what I'm doing is right. When I put it out there to y'all, I'm just assuming, okay, well, I guess they'll get it, or it makes sense. So having the live aspect and having the online aspect, like you said, you can go do this whenever you want. It's not that you have to do it right now or today, and you can go as fast as you want or as slow as you want. And then the one thing that you kind of mentioned, I know people are probably like, what is he talking about? The RVing for Bosses that Alphonzo is mentioning is a beta course that we've been testing and we've been developing behind the scenes with several of us. But a lot of people that come into the RV world, they want to know, hey, how do I take my talents and this thing that I'm doing? Because they see all these RVers and they think that what they're going to do is just record YouTube videos and put them up and make money. The more that people follow me, I understand they really want to know, how did you do what you did? How did you get into that RV life? How did you sell those things? How did you make money doing it? How do you do that blogging thing? Someone asked me the other day, they said, how do you do that blogging thing? I want to help other people.
Right.
And we do actually cover that at RVersity, is how to start that process of creating all of your social media and your YouTube channel and getting those things on the road and your website and everything else, so that you can get set up to make money while you travel.
Right.
And that's what you're talking about, is the course that we have called RVing for Bosses, which is inside of RVersity. That's part of RVersity. So will YouTube teach you everything?
No, of course not.
Okay. Then this would probably be my biggest question, Alfonso.
Uh-huh.
What would you tell someone who is considering investing and working with me or investing in RVersity?
I tell most definitely to work with you. Like I said, the biggest thing for me is just all the knowledge and information that you have that, I just don't see on YouTube. Coming to our university, it just opened my eyes up as to things that I really need to know. You know, I hate to get out there and come to find out that I'm just doing things wrong. I know there's always other ways to do things, but you seem to break things down in a way that it's understandable. You can read it, you can understand it, you can see it. It's always there. Not to mention that the support, the people that's in there also that I can bounce things off of, as far as them doing things and
Mm-hmm.
how they did it, and what roadblocks they may have or what accomplishments they have as far as doing things.
Right.
But like I said, working with you, Brandi, has really been an eye opener. I would have never thought that I needed to know as much as information that you've given out. All this great information. It's just unreal. It's unreal. And there's still things I hadn't looked at yet. I'm still, oh my God, you have so much information out there that I'm going through that, I'm like, I mean, I could probably be here for 6 months just going through all the information that you've given us.
But we don't want people to think that there's so much information that they're gonna have to go through it for 6 months. We want people to know that we speed up the process for you. It's
Yeah.
all there.
Yeah.
And like you said, I guess you said this earlier, and I don't know if we got this because we had a technical difficulty, but do you need to invest in any other programs, or would you invest in any other programs now?
There's no need for me to invest in any other programs. You give me everything I need right here. Everything I need is right here with you. And it's really great because, like I said, I felt that I knew you long before we started even talking together.
Right.
Just from your YouTube videos and all the things that you have out there. It's been really neat, and like I said, I fell in love with your RV the first time I seen it, and
Me
so
too.
that's just, yeah. So it's really great to even just to communicate or conversate with you.
I am so used to talking at people and
Uh-huh.
them just commenting back to me that I don't get this live interaction until you actually come into our versity.
Right,
Then
right.
we do get to hang out and we do get to dive in behind the scenes. So it is different when you come to me and you're like, hey, I've been watching you. And I'm like,
Yes.
I don't know you.
Yeah.
It's so much different because you know so much about me and I don't know anything about you when you start.
Right.
It's weird. Okay. Alfonso, I appreciate you working or doing this for working with me. One, thank you for
Uh-huh.
coming on here and sharing your testimony and telling everybody about our versity. And I definitely want to do an update
Yes.
and keep these going of what kind of results people are getting so that more people understand like there is help out there. There is
Mhm.
something out there for you and we're here for you. So I guess, is there anything else that you would like to share or say to anyone considering investing with RVersity before we kind of like sign off here?
Well, Brandon, I just want to say thank you, for being here, and for anybody out there that's looking to invest in RVing or having questions. This has been the best place that I've known to get good personal feedback as well as personal experiences, I guess, like I say, following you and listening to you and the things that you share just really opened my eyes up, and I'm quite sure if folks um, gave it a chance or even just went in and look at RVing for our versity, um, just seeing the information, all the tools that you put out there, they would fall in love with you too and love the program. So hopefully,
Oh,
like I
Alfonso,
say,
that's like
just
the best thing we could ever leave off on. Oh my
yeah,
gosh, you're warming my heart. So we have a lot of love in our versity too. It's a very warm, happy family that we
it
have there.
is.
So,
It really
that's
is.
what I like. It's not like some of these other RV, I would call them like groups that you get
Right.
into. Sometimes I feel like they're like cutting people down. They're like, oh, it's a
Yeah.
stupid way to do it. You can't RV like that. And I'm like, oh, when we come in, it's like a happy
Yeah.
family. There's no
Well,
hate or
yeah.
crazy stuff like that going on.
I'm looking for one day for all of us to be in the same RV park.
Sooner than you think, Alfonso. Sooner than you think. Thank you, Alfonso, for sharing your testimonial and being on here with me. And I just want everybody to also thank Alphonzo for being on here. And if you have comments or questions, please drop them below this video. And I'm also going to be dropping a link to RVersity. So actually, if you have questions, schedule a call with me. I'm going to put the link to RVersity below this video. You can check it out. You can book a call. It's totally free to have a consult call, and we'll talk about your RV life and welcome you to the family if it's the right fit for you. So RVersity is not the right fit for everyone, but the point is that if we can kind of figure out where you're at, we can help you get to the next destination. So thank you, Alphonzo, for being on here with me, and I appreciate everybody watching. If you want to learn anything else, click the link in the description below, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm blogging Brandi from RVersity. I'm getting tongue-tied now, so bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.